on the Social Circle Georgia Initiative for Community Housing Stakeholders Group. The Georgia, and I am Adele Shermer, the city manager. The Georgia Initiative for Community Housing is a program that's sponsored by the state to assist communities in meeting their housing needs. And it is a grassroots driven program where each community, the stakeholders, and in Social Circle's case, those are volunteers that join in at any point through our process in the GICH program, where the stakeholders define what are the housing needs and then work with state and federal resources to help address them. Very volunteer driven and very focused on the needs of a specific community, and of course, in our case, Social Circle. So Social Circle's tagline for this initiative is, we love where we live, we serve where we love together. So we are focused on meeting the needs, the housing needs of those living in Social Circle across the income spectrum. One of the objectives that this evening fulfills is putting on a housing fair, providing information to the community on how to become a homeowner. So I want to thank the subcommittee who has put this together. It's an excellent presentation. Ralph Ivy, Jackie Griffin, Katilia Ross, Susan Farrow, and Bishop Davenport, and the many others that have assisted in bringing this together this evening. As I said, it's an excellent presentation. I'm gonna turn it over to to Jackie Griffin to introduce and get us started. And I do want to let everyone know that it is being recorded. I believe it is being streamed on Facebook, and it will be available along with the PowerPoints through the Social Circle website afterwards. So if anybody missed it, wants to go back to it, it will continue to be available. So with that, I want to thank those of you for tuning in. I want to thank those of you who have put this together and are helping support this initiative for our community. Jackie?
Hi, thank you, Adele. Bishop Davenport, do you have some remarks?
No, more. I'd always like to open up in prayer, if that's all right with everyone. All right, you guys don't mind. Most holy and gracious Father, thank you once again for this stand, for this blessing. Another opportunity, Father, for us just to be a good citizen here in the unit, in Social Circle, as well as in our community. We're grateful and thankful for those who have joined us in this Zoom homeowners presentation. We ask your blessing upon each and every one. Bless what shall be said and done. For this we ask in Jesus' name. If you agree, say amen.
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 All right, thank you.
Thanks, Bishop Davenport. We have a lot of great information that will hopefully put each of you on the right path to home ownership. So let's get started. Our speaker for this evening is Ms. Katilia Ross, Realtor of Keller Williams Realty, Atlanta Metro East. So please welcome Katilia.
Hey, hi Katilia.
Hi, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jackie. We have a lot of information to cover, so I just want to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much to the City of Social Circle, as well as the subcommittee for the GICH committee. And we're just gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see if we can get this screen shared. And thank you to our guests that are here with us on today. And let's see here. Let's get this screen going. If you all can see my screen, just give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Awesome. Let's get started. I'm going to minimize myself here so that you won't be able to see everybody on the screen. So this is our first time home buyer information session, again, hosted by the City of Social Circle and the GICH committee. As Adele stated, this committee is basically wanting to be able to provide housing in the community, seeing the need of the community to be able to provide more housing inside the community, especially in the city of Social Circle. So here is a short video that we're going to watch here, just give you a little bit about what the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing is.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna pause it right here. So I just want to briefly share with you just a mission for the reason why we are hosting this information session. And we hope that you are empowered on tonight. We hope that you are educated, and we know that you will be equipped in becoming a homeowner. This team is collectively deprived with realtors, mortgage lenders, county officials, community churches, as well as credit specialists, all here to provide you the information and tools that will help you succeed the goal of home ownership. So our objectives on tonight, we will explain the benefits of home ownership, discuss owning versus renting, how to obtain down payment assistance and several different down payment assistance options, financing options that fits your needs, how to protect your assets as a homeowner, how to increase your credit worthiness as well, and why now is the best time to purchase a home. So real quickly, we're gonna go over your roadmap to home ownership. First of all, you would want to meet with a realtor for a buyer's consultation. Then you will move into getting pre-approved with a preferred lender. Us realtors have several preferred lenders that will lead you and guide you with your financing to help you get the mortgage lending that you need. Then once you have your pre-approval, you'll search for homes within your criteria, and we'll talk about that a little later. We'll make an offer on the home. We'll also do some negotiations. Then we'll go under contract. We'll go through final details. And then the best day is the closing day. So we're gonna go over all of this individually. I just wanted to give you a brief snapshot of what it is like in the process of purchasing a home. Are you ready to buy? So first of all, a lot of times as buyers, we want you to know that you have to have your credentials in order. You have to have funds saved. Is your credit score where it needs to be in order to get the lending that you need? Do you have funds saved? And maybe you may have 401k, maybe you have retirement, different things like that that you can utilize towards the purchase of your home. Do you have steady employment history? A lot of times lenders want to see that there's no gaps in between employment history within the past 2 years. They want to ensure that you are stable enough to pay your mortgage. Getting pre-approved. These are just some of the documents that you would need to getting pre-approved. Most lenders will require 2 years tax returns, 2 years W-2 or 1099 if you are self-employed. Most lenders will also require recent 2 months bank statements. Some may require more. Most recent 2 months pay stub, excuse me. So your social security, these are just validations of your identifications and other verifiable income. So a lot of individuals may have social security. They may, again, have that 401k. Some buyers may have received child support, just different types of income. If you receive any type of income that is verifiable, you can utilize that in purchasing a home, and actually it increases your chances in receiving more funds to purchase a home. Your home search. So this is very important, because a lot of times buyers, they have this wide range of, I want this, I want this, my house has to have this, I have to have granite, I have to have 4-car garage. And yes, I am exaggerating, because a lot of times we do exaggerate. However, I want you to understand that you have needs versus wants. What is most important to you when purchasing your home? In this case, we're speaking with social circle, so we know that the school system is already there. We know the school system. However, in general, location important to you? The price, the square footage, bedrooms, the features of the home. Do you need stairs? Do you want a ranch? These type of things are highly important when purchasing a home. And sometimes I advise buyers, is square footage more important than price? Is price more important than the location? So these are highly important aspects in purchasing a home. And what I tell my buyers is always write down a list versus your need versus your wants. Making an offer on a home. So we just discussed buyer needs versus their wants. The seller wants things as well. The sellers always want to get their top dollar. Right now, we're in the seller's market. Many sellers are getting top dollar for their home. So as for you as a buyer, this goes back into those funds that you have been saving up for quite some time and putting it away for home ownership. And then you'll be able to utilize those funds on the back end in case the seller doesn't want to fix repairs, or in case the seller doesn't want to give sellers concessions. So sellers always have wants as well as buyers have wants. Earnest money. These are just different types of things that are included in your offer. Earnest money, down payment. That comes with those funds that you saved up. You've been saving for 3 to 6 months. You've been saving for a year. You've been saving for 2 years. This is highly important for your down payment. Important dates, and we'll talk about those important dates. But right now, the most important date will be the closing date. Does the home need minor repairs? This goes into what I was mentioning in regards to the seller wants. A lot of times we as buyers, we don't realize that a lot of the homes may just have these minor gimmicks in it. They may have these minor kicks. It may need painting. Maybe the carpet just needs a good cleaning. Some of those things can be looked over versus those major repairs. Is the roof leaking? Just different things that can happen in a home. And in this case, we're here to equip you and just get your mind geared to what could possibly happen when you're making an offer on the home. Will the seller offer home warranty? So this goes into play with those major repairs. Is the refrigerator broken? Are my appliances not working? Is the roof leaking? Is there a plumbing issue? Is the septic tank not working? Different things. So a lot of these things that these home warranties can cover, if the seller is willing to offer, or in the buyer's case, you know, a lot of times we just go ahead and get that home warranty on our own. So now that the seller has agreed to give you those seller's concessions in hope, as well as fix some of those repairs, you have negotiated with your realtor, and you feel at ease, we are officially under contract. When your offer is accepted, you will give your earnest money. Earnest money is basically a deposit, a good faith deposit that shows the seller how serious you are in purchasing this home. In addition to the earnest money, it also goes towards your purchase price. So you're not necessarily giving these funds to the seller. These funds are held in escrow by an attorney that you and the seller agreed upon. And at the closing table, you will see these on your settlement statement where these particular funds have went towards your purchase price. Your due diligence. This is important. Your due diligence is that time frame where you are going to get your inspector out there to inspect the property. They're going to look at the foundation, structural issues. They're going to look at the roof. They're going to look at every aspect of the home. They're going to check the water heater. They're going to check the windows. They're going to check everything in that home to make sure that there's no kinks or whatever the case may be. And when you receive that long list of items that shows you what is going on in this house, that is the time for you to say, hey, I want the seller to fix this leaking roof. I would like for the seller to fix this leaking faucet, whatever the case may be. And if the seller agrees, in which we hope he does, then we move on into our financial contingency, and as well as our appraisal. And during the financial contingency is basically giving the lender time to get your loan through underwriting, as well as finalizing documents. The appraisal will come out and appraise the property for fair market value based on the comps in the area. And then we'll finalize the mortgage details, title search, and then we'll move on to the final walkthrough. The seller has fixed all of those repairs. The appraisal was phenomenal. The lender gave you the clear to close. And then we're moving on to the closing table. So in addition to closing, we do have closing costs. And I just want to break this down to you real quickly. These are items that will be included in your closing costs. So when you see this list, don't fret not, okay? This list right here is just some of the things that will be included in your closing costs. Closing costs is typically anywhere between 2 to 5% of the purchase. However, you're not worried about that because you have already been saving those funds prior to this point. So we have the property appraisal, the home inspection, you have your lender fees, your attorney fees, recording fee, title insurance, just different things that is associated in these closing costs. And we're sitting at the closing table, you and the attorney. Now that COVID is here, most attorneys are doing virtual closings. You will write, sign everything, and then you get those keys. So now let's talk about the benefits of home ownership. This is my favorite part. The benefits of home ownership, you're able to get your property tax deductions. You're able to have your mortgage payments can be fixed while rent's going up. I know most of you may see that a lot of investors are coming in to purchasing these homes, fixing them up, and then jacking the rent up, right? So, and even then, some of you may already be renting, and your landlord may say, well, hey, next year I'm taking the rent up $150 more, or whatever the case may be. But by this time, you're already paying the mortgage on the landlord's property, as well as putting money in his pocket to do whatever it is that he wants or needs to do, right? So now we have this differentiation between mortgage and rent. So why not go ahead and get your own mortgage payments and pay for your own mortgage instead of paying for someone else's? You are able to get interest deductions. You're also able to have equity in your home. Right now, prices are increasing, and a lot of people that are buying now can see an equity in their home just 2 to 3 months from now, right? Interest rates are extremely low. So you're able to gain and build wealth without paying capital gains. You're able to see that this is the American dream. A mortgage can act as a force of savings account. So you can also use your equity to purchase another home. You can use your equity to fix up your home. You can use your equity in many different cases that you can't do being a tenant. Renting versus home ownership. Home ownership brings intangible benefits such as a sense of stability, belonging to a community, and pride of ownership. Everybody I know that owns a home or is in the process of purchasing a home, when they're sitting at that closing table, they can tell you how awesome it feels to become a homeowner. And again, this is the American dream, and we know that you all will get there. Benefits of owning versus renting. You're able to build your credit. It does take time, but you're still able to build your credit. Why? Because creditors want to see a mixture of different types of credits, things reporting to your credit report, and having a mortgage is one of them. You're also making on-time payments every month. So we'll talk a little bit more about credit a little later. So your payment history is accounted for 35% of your credit score. So if you're making those payments, your mortgage payments faithfully every month, guess what? This 35% weighs the most in your credit right there. Benefits of owning versus renting. You have borrowing power. You can do home improvements. You can buy another home. You can get a business loan. Just different things that you can do just by owning a home. I know that a lot of individuals that own, they may be working from home, and now they're able to utilize that, those portions in filing their taxes because they've used portion of their home as a business. So this is possible. How to attain down payment assistance. So this is the Georgia Dream, is one of the most deprived DPA down payment assistance programs that a lot of buyers use. They have different levels of down payment assistance, and they do have requirements for qualifying for down payment assistance, different things of that. A lender can go over that with you. However, the basics of getting down payment assistance falls into play with your debt to income ratio, keeping that debt as low as possible, as well as your credit scores. So I don't know if you remember in the beginning, you need to have at least a 640 credit score to be able to qualify for these down payment assistance programs. That does not exclude you from down payment assistance, but this is one of the most used down payment assistance in Georgia. Also, we have Chenoa. Chenoa is another great source for down payment assistance as well. Same type of requirements, all right? And usually with these down payment assistance programs, they only require you to put down less than $2,000, less than $1,000 to be able to obtain these down payment assistance programs. Your credit matters. Cash is king, but credit is power, okay? So let's just talk about how your credit is utilized, all right, when adding up your FICO scores, okay? Remember, we said that your payment history is 35% of your credit score, okay? We are going to make on-time payments every month. We are not going to miss any payments anymore. If you have not, great, all right? So 30% of your credit is the amount owed. That's your debt, all right? So if you have a lot of debt, collections, or things like that, we want to start paying those debts down to get them below 30%. The goal is little to none, 10% to no debt is the best. 15% of your credit score is the length of history. How long have you had this particular item reporting on your credit? In addition to that, you've been making on-time payments. In addition to that, you have also been keeping that debt low. So if you have something on your credit that you just, let's just use this for an example, you applied for a credit card 2 months ago, that is new credit, and it's gonna cost you 10% of that credit, right? Of your score. But if you've had that credit card for 7 to 10 years, it has a lot of history. It has a lot of history, a lot more history than that credit card that you just received 2 months ago. You have a lot more payment history on that 10-year credit card. And hopefully you've been keeping that debt low to none. And of course, as we mentioned, your credit mix. So we want to have at least one install, one involved, revolving, one mortgage, just a different mixture of credits reporting to your credit report, items reporting to your credit report. Moving on. So as a buyer, you want to keep up with your credit scores as often, at least once every quarter. And I'm saying this out of, there's a lot of scams out here. There's a lot of hackers. The dark web is out there. So at least you want to know what is reporting on your credit. In addition to that, you want to ensure that, you know, you are utilizing your credit properly. So if you start seeing negative items, then you know that you're going down the wrong road. And now you can say, okay, well, I have this collection. What can I do to get myself back on track? So if you go 3, 4, 6 months without reviewing your credit, if you haven't viewed it in a while, some buyers they don't even know their credit score. They don't even know what's on it. And I'm just being honest. So yes, keep track of your credit score. You can also view your 3 credit reports for free at annualcreditreport.com. During the pandemic, this website here has allowed users to view their credit report once a week for free. Why? Because there's a lot of scams and hackers and things like that going on. All right, so moving on, check for errors. We want to check for misspelled names, wrong addresses, late payments, wrong balances, wrong account numbers. And the reason for this is because a lot of times you can dispute those things and have some of those items removed from your credit report. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act says that anything that is reporting on your credit, it must be 100% accurate. So if my name is spelled K-A-T, however, on my credit report, it's spelled C-A-T, I can dispute that and possibly have some of those things removed from my credit because my name is spelled wrong. That's not me. My name is K-A-T. If you have student loans, get them out of default. Lenders will consider 1% of your student loan as part of your debt. So, I mean, it's just as simple as that. If you have student loans, get them out of default. Make on-time payments. We discussed that. Credit Karma is not 100% accurate. Use sources such as IdentityIQ.com or MyFICO.com. Credit Karma is not 100% accurate. Credit Karma is an advertising company that buys and sells your information from collectors and creditors, and they use that information so that they are able to advertise other options such as credit cards or loans or different things to you in hopes that you will apply for the credit card, apply for the loan, or whatever the case may be. So Credit Karma is not 100% accurate. All right, build positive history on your credit report by, these are just some personal things that can help you. Self.com. Self.com, you're basically, it's like a secured way of saving. It is also a good way to make positive payment history towards your credit scores and different things of that nature. And Kickoff and Digit. So Digit is another way that you're able to save funds. It also pulls X amount of dollars out of your checking account, whether it's every day, every week, however it is, little small increments. They also reward you every now and then, a little small interest in it. In savings, you're able to set different options, whether you have rainy days, emergency fund, college fund, buying a home. You're able to utilize this as a way to save. It also gives you statements every month. So also, if you know anyone that has excellent credit, they make on-time payments and they do what they're supposed to do, they're responsible, you can ask them to put you as an authorized user on their credit card. You can definitely do that as well. And all of their payment history will just be transferred to yours. Moving on, your overall utilization should be below 30%. Never, ever, ever go over 30%. If you have a credit card, never go over 30%. Never. Keep it as low as possible. The lower, the better. If you have credit cards, your combined usage should not exceed your limits. Okay? So, for example, if I had 4 credit cards, all the limits equals up to $4,000. I should not exceed the usage of $1,200 collectively. Okay. Your debt to income ratio, your debt should not exceed your income. I'm just going to keep repeating that. Your debt should not exceed your income. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you should spend it. Save it. Dedicate portions of your incomes to a true saving. Use that digit. I promise you it will help you along the way. Potential payments, what you are approved for doesn't mean you can afford it. Stay within your means. So if the lender approved you for $300,000 for a mortgage, you don't have to exceed that. You know, find a home that is within your means so that you're able to afford your mortgage comfortably. Be committed to your goals and stay consistent, and don't allow anything or anyone throw you off track. If home ownership is your goal, you know, you may have to cut out some things. You may have to stop buying Starbucks for a little while. Whatever the case may be, whatever it takes for you to do to be able to save and stay committed to your goal, do it. And this is my favorite. Home buyers' 10 commandments. Thou shalt not change jobs. Become self-employed or quit your job. Okay? So if you are a W-2 employee, stay on your job. Stay on your job. Now you're able to switch jobs, but just not fields. So let me clarify that. Don't quit your job and become self-employed. Why? Because remember, I told you lenders want 2 years, 2 years tax returns, 2 years W-2. So when they look at that, They're going to say, well, hey, you only have 1 year as a W-2 employee, but then now you're self-employed. We can't approve you, okay? And never ever quit, okay? Thou shalt not buy a new vehicle. Don't go out and buy no new car. You can wait. I promise you, those car salesmen are going to lie. They're going to pull your credit 15 times, and you're not going to get the best deal. Wait, save it. Just wait, be patient. If your car is plucking, just keep plucking and trucking until you are at the closing table. Thou shalt not use credit cards excessively. We've already discussed that. Utilize it responsibly. Thou shalt not let current accounts fall behind. We're going to make on-time payments. Thou shalt not spend money you have set aside for down payment or closing costs. I just told you, don't let anything or anyone step in the way or to get you off track of becoming a homeowner, and that includes yourself. We have those rainy days. We have those emergencies. But guess what? When you utilize Digit and you look at your Digit account and you say, well, I have a rainy day account. I have an emergency account. I have a homeowner account. Don't go into that homeowner account. Go into that rainy day account, okay? I promise you, you will make it through. Thou shalt not finance any new furniture. I know when buying a home, you say, hey, I need new furniture. I want everything new in my new house. It's going to be so beautiful, but just wait. I promise. Just wait. You will have everything you need when the time comes. Thou shalt not originate any inquiries into your credit. This goes along to going to the car dealership. This goes along with applying for credit cards. This goes along with financing new furniture. Don't originate new increase, okay? Thou shalt not make cash deposits without checking with your loan officer first. And the reason why I say this is because they look at those, they want to make sure that they are income deposits as well. So if you have like this big lump sum of money, they're going to want to know where this lump sum of money comes from. When you get in a contract with your lender, they are going to be nosy. They want to know everything from A to Z. Why is this? Do you have that? Okay, so I'm just telling you now. Thou shalt not change bank accounts. Don't change bank accounts. Keep that bank account. Just keep depositing, making those deposits into that bank account. So if you need to withdraw or whatever, I hope it's going into the savings account. And lastly, thou shalt not co-sign a loan for anyone. That goes, I mean, that's just plain and simple. Don't put your name on anything, because when it's your turn to buy a house, they're not going to put their name on your loan, or whatever the case may be. So, stay true to your goal, and I promise you, you will get there. Questions or comments?
Thanks, Katilia. It looks like we only have one question in the chat panel, and that question is, and Realtor Ralph Ivy will answer that for us. The question is, how do I go about finding a realtor?
Ralph, you're muted.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, that was a good question. Ways to find a realtor. First, you want to make sure you look for the realtor logo when looking for a realtor. And also look for a realtor in the market that you're looking to purchase in. You want to have a realtor that's familiar with the area, that can provide you good information for the school districts, the demographics, etc. So those are the things that you want to look for, among others. You can ask close friends or relatives, someone who they have used in the past. But most important though, you want to feel comfortable with your realtor, because this transaction, it can be somewhat stressful for some. So therefore, you want to be able to feel comfortable with your realtor because you're going to have a long relationship here, and you want to be able to go to your realtor at any time because they're going to be working for you. And just make sure you interview them just like you would anyone else, because you actually hired that individual. And you want to make sure that realtor has your best interest at all times. The first realtor may not be the best one, so therefore you just have to.
Okay, thank you, Ralph. Are there any other questions? If so, you're welcome to unmute your speaker at this time and ask the question. Any other questions? Okay, let's see.
Jackie, I'll ask this question as far as for some folks, as far as if they need assistance for a down payment, do they contact a realtor to go through the process, or how does that work as far as Katilia or Ralph?
I can answer that question for you, Bishop. I would recommend that it goes through your realtor. There's a lot was given out by Katilia, and she did an excellent job. And it seemed to be a lot, but for listeners, us as realtors, we try to make things streamlined, and all that what she presented falls on the weight of your realtor mostly. And a good realtor will make this seamless and take all that pressure off. And to answer your question, Bishop, and I say your realtor, you should go through your realtor first, because your realtor will find out what program works best for you. They will find out what your credit score is, along with how much income you have for its down payment. And we know different programs that might tailor best for you. And so we don't like for you to go around town and just having your credit pulled in different locations without having some type of game plan. So your realtor is going to be your first person of contact to answer that question.
Okay,
Okay.
anyone else? Are there any other questions?
Did you guys mention the housing stock in Social Circle, if there's houses available, or is this just in Social Circle or in Walton County or any other area? Ralph or Katilia?
I'm sorry, Bishop, can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Homeowner, as far as housing stock or housing available in Social Circle?
Yes.
If there houses available, have you guys checked, or houses available?
Yes.
Or is
Yes.
are there some available for sale and in Social Circle?
Yes, the market, I'm gonna be honest with you, the market across the state of Georgia is very competitive. It's limited. There is a shortage of homes throughout the state. So as Katilia said, that's why it's a seller's market right now. And being a seller's market can be challenging trying to find a home. But when you find a good realtor, a full-time realtor that's working diligent to find you the property that best fits you, that's how you gain your success in finding that home, is finding someone who's committed and dedicated full-time as a realtor to go out and search, and making sure that when it's time to place the offer on the home, that they place the offer in a way that it gets accepted.
All right.
But there is homes to here.
Okay. All right, last chance. Are there any other questions? If not, we would like to thank everyone for participating. We are so excited about the possibility of you purchasing your own home. And for additional information, we can still continue to assist you. Please contact Katilia Ross or Ralph Ivy at the telephone number and email on the slide that Katilia is about to put up. And also, in addition, you're welcome to pick up a hard copy of the PowerPoint presentation from Social Circle City Hall, or you can access it on the city's website within a couple of days.
A hard copy, okay.
You can get a hard copy from City Hall, or you can access it from the city's website. We would like to also thank Katilia for the great information that she shared, and Ralph for answering the questions, and Bishop Davenport as well for assisting with those questions. We would like to thank our city manager, Adele, the city clerk, Susan, assistant city clerk, Bopper, for their assistance with coordinating this event. And last, please don't forget to complete your evaluation form once you receive it. So if there's nothing else, have a great evening.
Thank you.
You too, and good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah.
It really was.
Great job.